RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Lou Mauser, your local farmer's insurance agent. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Andy's Auto Body in Alton and Maryville, we can fix anything. Alton Toyota, Toyota makes the car, Munganast makes the difference. And the Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for over 46 years.
Welcome back to Roxana High School. Dennis Laird alongside Louis Cork. We move to the bottom of the second inning, and back to the hill. Kyle Scott fires the first one in on the hands to the Roxana leadoff hitter, who fouls it down the first baseline for strike one. This is Nathan Martz, the designated hitter, number 5 hitter in the Shells lineup.
We're also joined today by RiverBender.com here today. John and the crew are out, doing a fine job as usual, tag teaming with us here on this big Riverbend rivalry.
Nathan Martz takes strike 2. So if you want to log on and see the visual side of this, you can, RiverBender.com.
And you can always turn the volume down if you don't want to hear us. Or me, anyway.
I think they've done that already.
I'm sure they have.
The ones who elected to. Here's a swing and a miss by Martz, and Scott strikes out the Roxana leadoff hitter.
It's a good change of speed again there, and Scott off to a good start here, just like Grizzle, with his second strikeout of the afternoon, and had the number 5 hitter in the Shells order tied up there. Had him out in front of the pitch, and good movement away from the right-handed batter, and retires the first batter here in the bottom of the second.
That'll bring in Alex Pfeiffer for the Shells, the number 6 hitter and center fielder. Right-handed hitter against Kyle Scott. Scott, a long look now, ready. Pitch coming. Down low for a ball. Pfeiffer, the center fielder for the Roxana Shells. Digs back in from the right side. They set up away. Here's the 1-0 to him. Swing and a tapper. Third baseman coming on, barehands it, but can't hold on to it, and safe at first base is Pfeiffer.
No, that was going to be a tough play either way. If Linglet is able to barehand that one, he's going to have a heck of a time trying to throw the speedy Pfeiffer out running up that line. Well, he spoiled a good pitch there. That one was tied in right on the hands of the batter there, and he was able to turn on it and just dribble it up that third base line far enough where he can leg out an infield single. Second hit of the afternoon for the Shells, and second in as many innings.
Pfeiffer on at first with 10 steals on the season. Puts him 4th on the Shells. Catcher Tharp out to talk it over with Kyle Scott. Digging in will be a right-handed hitter. It's Brandon Palin, the third baseman. Pfeiffer creeps away from first. Scott with a check. Now a toss over and back safely is Pfeiffer.
Well, you got a speed runner over there, so, and with one out, Shells would love nothing more than to get him in the scoring position, and you know the Oilers are going to pay attention to him, even though he doesn't have a particularly big lead over there.
Scott with a long look now steps off, and back to first base is Pfeiffer.
Well, in that situation there, you're either going to get the pitcher to step off or the batter to call timeout. There was no intent to throw a pitch there to the plate.
Kyle Scott to the belt and to the plate. Pitch down low for a ball.
Didn't miss by much. Both of these pitchers today looks like they're really emphasizing trying to tie these hitters up and get the ball inside, which, if you've got your control, is not a bad thing to do.
Now throw to first, gets away from Lucas Cobb, and Pfeiffer down to second.
And that's an error on the pitcher. The throw was low. He didn't stray too far off the bag. Cobb could not come up with it, and it got far enough away where Pfeiffer's fast enough where he could motor into second base, and now he is in scoring position and a chance to get the first run on the board here with a base hit.
Palin, the right-handed hitter, digs back in. Pfeiffer with the lead from second. The pitch stays inside for ball 2. Palin. A long look down at third base coach, now digs in. Pfeiffer leads from second. Scott comes to the belt. Look back at second. Now another look. Here comes the pitch. It's down low for ball 3.
You know, they're trying to work Palin inside here, and that time another pitch inside. First two were right in on the hands. Didn't miss the plate by much. That one went a little more towards the knees and the ankle area, but again, looks like they're setting up inside again.
The 3-0 pitch sails off the plate for ball 4, and the Shells have another runner on.
Well, Grizzle steps to the plate, and he can help himself here. Mike Arbith not calling him up the line here to have a little word with him.
Grizzle, the number 8 hitter in the Shells lineup.
You could see a bunt here as well. I mean, you do sacrifice the out, but you move runners up to second and third with 2 outs, and Draw's not a bad hitter. You move those runners up, even with 2 outs, you get a base hit. You can probably get 2 runs and stake this pitcher to a 2-run lead.
Grizzle digs in from the right side as Scott checks Pfeiffer down at second. And the pitch to Grizzle is down low for ball 1.
Didn't miss by much.
Scott. A long look in at Tharp. As Grizzle waits on the 1-0 pitch. Both runners moving. A pitch swung through for a strike, and the throw down to third. Not in time, and both runners advance on stolen bases.
Well, it's a good thing that they picked a pitch to run on that they did, because the lead runner, Pfeiffer, had a really, really late break on that one, but the pitch was down and around the dirt area, and it was really tough for the Wood River catcher to make a play on that one. Tharp didn't really have much of a chance to throw the runner out.
Grizzle spins away from the next one. The count now 2-1.
Oh, another, again, infield playing back, particularly up the middle, so a ground ball here can get a run home.
The 2-1 off the dish. The count 3-1 now on Grizzle.
Well, you got a base open, but well, if you really want to walk the man here and load the bases up, you do have draw on deck. Does set up a double play situation.
The 3-1 to Grizzle. In there, breaking pitch for strike 2, and the count full. Grizzle, the pitcher, digs back in. With nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Runners at second and third. The pitch to him. Another breaking pitch and a beauty that drops in there for strike 3, and the strikeout for Kyle Scott, a big one there with nobody out.
Wow, that was a big pitch there to be able to get the man there, and actually the second out of the inning. He's got 2 strikeouts sandwiched around a hit and a walk. Now a chance to get out of the inning, and that was a perfect pitch over the inside part of the plate.
And here's the first pitch swinging, number 9 hitter, and he's going to shoot it over the head of the left fielder. 1 run going to score, or the other Shell runner around to score as well. And Roxana up 2-0 on a Matt Draw double as he jumped on that first pitch up in the zone.
Well, that's a good piece of hitting from Draw. You're thinking the Oilers have a little bit of momentum there, particularly Scott, after getting the first 2 men. Draw takes that high pitch away and just shoots it over the head of Colby Hall out there, and it's a big 2-out hit and gives us our first 2 runs of the game.
Now Drew Brumley, the top of the order for Roxana with 2 away. Takes the first one down in the dirt for ball 1. Brumley, a right-handed hitter. Waits on the 1-0 from Kyle Scott. Check of the runner and the pitch. In there. Nope, misses for ball 2.
0 for 1 as Brumley grounded out to third to start the bottom of the first.
2-0 count on him as Droll leads from second. There's a strike across the outside corner, and the count now 2-1 on Drew Brumley. Kyle Scott comes to the belt. Now Brumley going to step out. Brumley will dig back in. The right fielder for Roxana. Check on the runner draw back at second. Scott brings it home. And there's a strike across the outside corner. The count now even at 2-2.
So you were right. I'm looking at the scoreboard. When I heard you say 2-1, I look up there and they say 1-2. So
that's because
you're on the ball.
This umpire's on the ball. He shows me almost after every pitch. The 2-2. Swing and a shot back up the middle. And this will fall in front of the center fielder. Here comes the throw into the plate, and they're going to hold the runner. Droll down at third base.
Well, I think that was more or less Mike Arbuthnot. Even though there's 2 outs, I think that's just his way of showing Bobby Spurlock, the center fielder, all the respect in the world. And, boy, he got a tremendous jump on that ball and a running start. And, boy, he fired a strike, 1 hop right to the plate. Runner probably would have been out. So Mike Arbuthnot knew what he was doing there, and he knew he had a big arm out there and did not want to see his runner run into a third out at home. Even though there's 2 outs on the play, sometimes you might want to take a chance there, but thinking he's got 2, 3, and 4 coming up, maybe they can string some hits together.
There's a pitch to Aaron Arbuthnot for a strike. Arbuthnot, a right-handed hitter with runners at first and third. We'll see if maybe the Roxana Shells want to try something here. Now Scott going to fake to third and fake to first.
The old Rick Sutcliffe move.
He still tries it from the booth.
Well, he couldn't do it on the mound during the game, so he might as well try it somewhere. He's a Cub, remember?
Here's a throw over to first, and back safely is Brumley.
We don't mind poking fun of them here, do we?
Well, Berkland's not around, so.
So then all systems are go. I poke fun of him even when he is here, so it really doesn't matter.
Here's the pitch, and the ball gets away from Tharp. Brumley down to second, and the runner going to come home from third. Now Brumley all the way around to third base.
Well, Brumley was going to steal that base anyway, and then when the pitch got away, he's able to scoot all the way around to third, and easily scoring there is draw for the third run. And that's one of those where if you're Tharp, the ball's down and away just about a step. He's got to throw his body out in front of that and protect the plate any way he can when there's a runner at third base.
This one sails in and nails Arbuthnot. He'll trot down to first.
So the inning stays alive, and Pleister's going to be the 8th man to bat in the inning. And you can almost bet here that Arbuthnot's is not going to waste much time taking off here, maybe trying to swipe another base so they can get 2 runners in the scoring position. And it's going to bring Oilers coach Phil Kiesler to the mound. I think he wants to make sure that his team stops the bleeding here pretty quickly. 3 runs are already in. You don't want to see this get out of hand too quickly here. We're only in the 2nd inning, but the way the Oilers have been going here lately, losers of 6 in a row, they just haven't put together a whole lot of offense. They had their last game, they put up 9 runs on the board against Southwestern, but offensively, they just haven't had a whole lot there during this losing streak, and you get into too deep of a hole, especially with a team that's lost 6 in a row, the confidence gets shaken pretty quickly.
And a rally continues for the Shells with a 3-0 lead here, and runners at first and third. Chance for Pleaser to add to it. The Oilers have talked over what they plan to do in this first and third situation. As Pleaster set to dig in from the left side. Scott comes to the belt. The pitch on the way. No. Pleaster will step out.
It's turned into a pretty long inning here so far. A lot of time in between pitches by Scott and paying close attention to runners, all that sort of stuff.
Pleaster digs back in. Scott to the belt again. Another long look. Now throw her to first.
Well, he doesn't seem to be too particularly attentive to the runner over there at third base, and that cost him a run the last time when the wild pitch was issued.
Scott ready now, delivers, swing, popped up. Tharp headed back toward the fence to try and haul it in, and won't get to it. It's out of play.
Well, there's a lot of room back here behind home plate. This backstop where we're at is, what would you say, a good 20 yards behind home plate?
At least.
So there's all kinds of room on both sides.
A lot of foul ground down both lines.
Yeah, so you can never give up on a pop-up anywhere around here behind you. That one did just get beyond the fence here. It's a long strike. Or should I say a tall strike?
Very tall, high strike. Arbuthnot running. Pleaster shoots it towards second off the second baseman's glove. Another runner will score, and safe at first is Pleaster with Arbuthnot down to second.
Well, that ball was lined on a shot, and boy, that thing was just sinking, and he took a stab at it to his left, almost made a diving catch there, but the ball just off of his glove caromed away. And Pleaster gets himself an RBI single.
They're moving as well to try and cover second. Had to hold up there, and then Arbuthnot running in front of him made that play a little tougher.
I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Ham with a smash down the line, and they're going to say that's foul.
He's the ninth man to bat in the inning. He popped out to the to the catcher in the first inning. That's 4 straight that have reached base here after the strikeout to Grizzle. Roxana's plated all these runs with 2 outs. Look to keep it going here.
Runners at first and second. Pitch on the way downstairs to Trey Ham. Count 1-1 on Ham. 4 runs home here in the bottom of the second. Kyle Scott trying to get out of this inning. Trey Ham would like to put some more on the board for the Shells. Tharp sets up outside. Pitch coming, runners going. The throw is down to second, and both runners safe at second and third.
Well, they're taking advantage of this long leg kick by Scott. He's got a very slow, deliberate motion to the plate, and that's another double steal. We've had a couple of those here already today. Now another hit. It's going to plate 2 more runs here.
Ham digs in from the right side, waits on the 2-1 from Kyle Scott, who brings it home. It's upstairs, and the count now 3-1 on the Shell cleanup hitter.
Well, the base is open now, and you've got Martz on deck. You want to be careful here. This is the cleanup hitter, dangerous hitter.
And he ropes one down the line. Foul again. Just missing again.
Boy, he had a pitch to hit there, and sure enough, he lined it up, and it was on a tee. Just foul. That definitely would have scored 2 runs if it was fair.
Well, that runs the count full at 3-2. Scott brings home the 3-2 pitch to Ham. Swing and a grounder back towards second. Second baseman up with it, firing to first. A wild throw at first. 1 run will score Arbuthnot. The other runner around, Fleister, and headed to third base is Ham.
Boy, oh boy, when it rains, it pours. What should have been an inning-ending ground out plates 2 more runs here for the Shells on the air. It was, I don't want to say that it was a particularly awful throw. It definitely was low. You got Cobb over there at first base, who's a big target. But Dare threw that ball low. Cobb could not come up with it, and the low throw on the second baseman, Dare, cost the Oilers 2 more runs here. And those are the things that happen when you're in a prolonged losing streak.
Here's a breaking pitch that falls in there for strike 1 to Nathan Martz, the DH.
Well, he started things in this inning. He struck out, and he's the 10th man to bat now.
He swings at the next one, a breaking pitch that sails off the plate, and it's 0-2 on Martz. Here's the 0-2 to Martz. Swing and a shot past the third baseman will plate Trey Ham and make it a 7-0 ball game in favor of Roxana.
Well, that's just not a very good pitch by Scott. You've got him 0-2. You do not want to get just serve one up on a tee anywhere over the plate, and that's the mistake that he made. He got too much of the plate there, and Martz made no mistake about it, and he made the Oilers pitcher pay there with an RBI single.
And that'll bring in Alex Pfeiffer. Right-handed hitter.
7 runs this inning.
Swings and shoots it towards center. Spurlock camped under that one. Will haul it in for the final out. Over the bottom of the second, but 7 runs home for the Shells. In the bottom of the second, they lead the Oilers 7-0. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Hi, George Weber. Weber Chevrolet's year-end clearance is underway, making now a great time to save money when you buy and when you drive. Through the end of the month, we are offering the highest sales incentives of the year. And no matter what you hear in the media, believe me, our financing is still as available and aggressive as it's ever been, if not more. Combine that with our great incentives and you have the lowest payments of the year. And that's just the start of the great values at Weber Chevrolet in Granite City, Illinois. Or check us out on the web at webergc.com.
Honey, who does our car insurance?
State Farm.
And what about our house?
State Farm, too.
And what about our life insurance?
Why do you ask?
Well, I've got something to tell you.
Bringing new life into the world is one of many great reasons to talk about life insurance. So contact your State Farm agent today. They'll help you choose the right coverage.
Contact Tom Lane to discuss all of your life insurance needs at 377-8912 across from Gino's 140 Club in Bethalto.
Welcome back to Roxana. Dennis Laird alongside Louis Cork. You're in tune to WBGZ Alton. And the count 1-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Oilers. Kevin Linglet fouled the first one off and took the second one for a ball off the plate. Or excuse me, that's Mike Savantino.
The DH batting here for the first time.
He swings and misses at the next one to make the count 1-2. And swings and misses again. A pitch in the dirt. The catcher will fire down. Garner's throw in the dirt, and they just get him down at first base. Lucky play there that they pulled it off. He almost blew that one.
Well, he just kind of lobbed it down there, and Drawl does a nice job of keeping his foot on the bag, blocking the ball, and able to pick it up. Wasn't the easiest put out in the world, but I guess it's effective any way you look at it.
That'll bring in Kyle Scott.
3 strikeouts now for Grizzle, and you got Scott 0 for 1, lined out to second to start the game.
Grizzle drops the first one in there for a strike.
Well, he's stoked to a 7-0 lead now. He's going to be looking at a variety of pitches to throw here.
Here's a ground ball past the third baseman into the left field for a single for Kyle Scott.
He left that one right over the heart of the plate, and it's twice now Scott's hit the ball on the nose. It's 1 for 2 now. He singles between third and short.
That'll bring in Kevin Tharp, the catcher. Number 2 hitter in the Oiler lineup.
Second hit of the day for the Oilers.
Pitch down low to him for a ball. Grizzle back on top. Looks in, gets a sign from the catcher Garner. Comes to the belt, checks the runner. Pitch up high for a ball to Kevin Tharp, makes it 2-0. Scott with a lead from first. Left fielder comes in and will squeeze it for the out.
If you're looking at the Oilers here, as Pleaster makes the catch, boy, you'd like to see your hitters get a better swing on a 2-0 pitch. Tharp just got underneath that one and skied it out to left field, and that's quickly 2 outs for Spurlock, who walked in the first, stole second, was left out there.
Digs in from the left side against the lefty Grizzle, and he has a runner picked off at first. Little cat and mouse, and finally the tag put on Kyle Scott. That'll bring it in to the top of the third. Shells leads 7-0 over the Oilers. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
Make life easy for yourself at the United Methodist Village.
With no more stairs and no more home upkeep in a spacious apartment or villa home, with no upfront endowment and just 1 monthly fee, you stay in control of your finances. Now that's easy and smart. Countryside living that is fun, neighborly, and only minutes from the Clark Bridge. The United Methodist Village, where living is easy.
I only wish I'd have moved here sooner.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're now approaching the island of Bora Bora. Enjoy your stay.
This beautiful home contains 8 bedrooms, 2 family rooms, and a private jacuzzi just off the master bedroom.
Hey, anybody up for a cruise in my sweet boat?
What are you going to do with all the money you save from buying your car at Roberts Motors?
Roberts Motors in Alton or online at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to Roxana High School. Dennis Laird alongside Louis Cork. We move to the bottom of the third, and the Shells got 7 in the bottom of the second. They lead the Oilers 7-0.
Looking to build on that. Still early, really. I mean, you do have a 7-run lead, but 7 runs after 2 were out were scored when 6 straight reached base, and the killer was the error that should have ended the inning after 4 runs scored. 3 more runs were tacked on after that. Shells lead it comfortably, but looking to keep the pedal on the metal here and give the Oiler, they would love nothing more than to hand their rivals their 7th straight loss here this afternoon, and they're well on their way to doing that.
A right-handed hitter digging in for the Shells to lead things off. Brandon Palin taps it out in front. The pitcher off the hill. Scott throws on to first for out number 1.
Palin walked, stole the base, and scored in that 7-run inning that time. Doesn't get much aluminum on that ball and just dribbles it out in front of the plate. And Scott comes in and makes the put out. It'll bring in Grizzle, who struck out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1.
First one on the way, sails inside for ball 1. From Luke Scott, the right-handed hurler for the East Alton Wood River Oilers. Scott ready with the 1-0. Here comes. Swing and a grounder past the first baseman Cobb into right field. Grizzle on with a 1-out single.
Well, they gave him the right side over there. Cobb over there at first was not too far off that bag, so there was a big gap over there between second and first, and Grizzle pushes it right through that big hole over there. Another hit for the Shells. That would be their 7th of the afternoon, and brings in Drawl, the number 9 hitter. He started all this with a 2-out, 2-run opposite field double that got the ball rolling for the home team here.
Jumping on the first pitch his last time up. Kyle Scott delivers, and he jumps on the first one again, this time pulling it down the line. Draw going around first. Courtesy runner to third base for the Shells, and runners at second and third on a double by Draw.
Well, Draw's got 2 doubles here today, and he's seen 2 pitches. I guess you'd call that pretty effective, huh?
Or you could call him a first pitch hitter.
Well, when you have some success against a particular guy, that's the way to go.
Jumping all over that first pitch again and doubling this time into the right field corner after hitting it over the left fielder's head this last time up.
Well, Pruitt raced all the way over, and like you said, he's the pinch runner. Here comes Phil Kiesler to the mound, and I think he waved off his first baseman Cobb there. I think he just wants to talk to Scott. And he tells Tharp, go back behind the plate. I want to talk to him by myself. That's pretty unusual. You would think you want your entire battery in here together. But he's got his pitcher out there solo, mano y mano.
So a short conversation at the hill. And headed back to the dugout is Coach Kiesler.
Whatever he said, it was pretty brief. He gets it back to the top of the order here, and the Shells looking to do more damage here and in position to do so with a couple of more runners in scoring position.
Drew Brumley, the hitter. Swings at the first pitch and shoots it through the left side. Played another Roxana run, making it 8-0 now in favor of the Shells. Runners now at first and third.
Oh, that was another hard hit ball there, and everybody moving up one station there. Now it's first and third, and nobody out. And another big inning is set, or 1 out, excuse me. Another big inning is set up here. First pitch swinging again. These Shells, the hitters, have picked up something here to attack the count early.
Brumley now, good speed down at first. As Arbuthnot at the dish, and the throw over chases Brumley back safely.
Well, this is the 5th batter of the inning, and Scott's only thrown 5 pitches so far. What does that tell you?
He's left some out over the plate.
And right off the bat. I mean, you've had 4 batters and 5 pitches.
Here's a pitch out, and that one almost got away from Tharp.
Yeah, there was a little miscommunication there, and maybe thinking a stolen base was in order.
Ball 1 to Aaron Arbuthnot.
3 hits in the inning now, and that's 9 for the afternoon.
There's one way you get him, stop him from hitting that first pitch. You just pitch out on the first one.
Exactly.
Here's a strike to Arbuthnot to even the count of 1-1. Brumley with a lead down at first. Arbuthnot with Tharp setting up inside. Kyle Scott delivers, and it's outside in the dirt, and down to second goes Brumley.
That was pretty easy there for the back runner to move up to second base once it got into the dirt. Brumley's fast enough. And Arbuthnot, who's reached base twice, singled, stole a couple bases in the first, hit by a pitch and scored in the second.
Swings and fouls this one off to even the count at 2-2.
So he's going to see with this next pitch as many pitches as the first four did combined, first four batters.
With runners at second and third and one away. The 2-2 upstairs and the count goes full.
Got a base open.
Heart of the order due up though for Roxana. Arbuthnot waits on the 3-2 pitch from Kyle Scott. And this sails outside for ball 4, and Arbuthnot on to load the bases.
And it's going to bring Pleister in here, 1 for 2, singled. He's got stole a base, scored, has an RBI. Chance to pick up a couple more ribbies, or at least one more here. Infielders are in at the corners, playing for the double play up the middle.
First pitch sails outside to Pleister, the left-handed hitter. Bases loaded for the Shells. Looks like a lefty loosening up in the Shell bullpen. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball to second. Second baseman over to short for 1. The throw back to first. Not in time, and a run scores for the Shells.
Hard hit ball and
game. Foul back to the screen. He was sitting behind it, threw his popcorn up in the air. Here's a pop-up foul.
Was he trying to catch the ball, or did it just scare the wits out of him?
I think it startled him, and he had his popcorn in his hand and flinched, and popcorn went everywhere.
I'm sure he was a little upset.
So at least you didn't lose your popcorn. Count 3-2 on the hitter Linglet. Almost went around. Now they're going to say he did go around. So Linglet with a half swing will strike out to bring it in to the 4th inning, or the top of the 4th. Shells coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th, leading 9-0. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
We're defined by what we pass on to the next generation. The ConocoPhillips Wood River Refinery is a proud neighbor of the Riverbend region. Their employees produce and distribute quality refined products throughout the Midwest in an environmentally safe manner. By using innovative refining processes, they are ready to meet the energy challenges of the future, so we can pass on what matters most to the ones who matter most. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow.
Yeah, my hairstylist is like family. When pool water turned my hair green, she came over right away. Now that kind of commitment is a lot like my American Family Insurance agent. When our washing machine flooded the basement, my agent showed up wearing knee-high rubber boots. My agent understands that the ultimate coverage isn't a piece of paper, it's peace of mind. American Family Insurance, the family you choose.
American Family Insurance.
Call me, Gerard Fisher, at 466-7062.
Shop? Andy's Auto Body on Broadway in Alton.
Welcome back to Roxana. Dennis Laird alongside Louis Cork. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it looks like Garner going to hit for himself here to lead things off in the 5th.
Well, with a 9-0 lead, Mike Arbuthnot wanting to give his catcher maybe an at-bat here to see if he can get something started here.
All 1 to Garner. There's a swing, a tap foul. The count now even at 1-1 on Stephen Garner. Garner, a right-handed hitter. Digs back in with a 1-1 count on him. Kyle Scott on the hill for the Oilers. Gets the sign, is ready. Here it comes. And a strike across the outside corner in the count 1-2.
Fastball there. We haven't seen too many of those here today. Both pitchers going strictly with a lot of off-speed stuff.
2 strikes on the hitter, Garner. Swings and fouls this one off. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Stephen Garner. Garner digs back in from the right side. Kyle Scott brings it home. Here's a swing and a pop-up down the first base line. Cobb going into foul territory will not be able to get this one.
Well, his first motion was he just looked up and did not immediately run to foul territory. If he immediately runs to foul territory, he might be able to come up with that one, but he kind of got turned around, and once he got motoring over that way, the ball was running away from him, and the ball bounds into foul territory, and Garner has new life.
Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a pop-up on the infield. Pitcher Kyle Scott over near the line will haul it in for out number 1. And that'll bring in Alex Pfeiffer.
Well, believe it or not, Scott's done a good job starting the innings. He's just had trouble finishing them. That's 4 straight innings that he's gotten the leadoff batter out. This is where he starts to have his problems, is in between.
And the first one upstairs to Pfeiffer. That is rare. Most of the time a pitcher gets that first out, then he'll go well for him.
That's very unusual. But he's retired the leadoff man in every inning now.
And this one sails up and in on Pfeiffer. It's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on Alex Pfeiffer, a right-handed hitter for the Shells. Kyle Scott brings the next one home. It's down low for a ball, and it's 3-0 on Pfeiffer.
He's issued 2 walks here today. 2 walks to go with 3 strikeouts, in danger of walking his third.
Taking all the way is Pfeiffer in the count, 3-1.
Looks like Fenewald is in the on-deck circle, going to hit for Palin.
Pfeiffer waits on the 3-1. Swing and a shot towards right field. Right fielder going towards the line will not get this one. Around second is Pfeiffer. Around first is Pfeiffer and into second base with a double.
Well, I was wondering if that ball was going to fall foul, but because he sliced it down that right field line, but it stayed just inside the line, and another extra base hit for the Shells here today. And
bats from the right side. Waits on the first one from Kyle Scott. It's in there for a called strike 1. Scott back on the hill, ready. The 0-1 on the way. Strike 2 called. Scott has reached back for a little extra here, and this inning is probably his best inning so far.
Well, he's getting ahead of batters, and other than the double that Pfeiffer got, that's the only time he was behind a hitter, and that double was a 3-1 pitch.
And here's a foul back on a curveball as Grizzle stays alive. Two strikes on Grizzle as he digs back in. Pfeiffer with a lead down at third. Pitch coming. And it hits Grizzle. To 1570 Radio Sports.
Toyota has more cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. So no matter how high gas prices get, you can keep moving forward.
Business owners all around the Riverbend have been turning to Chuck West Agency for over 46 years for help with employee benefits, retirement planning, and life insurance solutions. Retirement planning is one of the most crucial concerns for business owners and employees, so let Chuck West Agency help you find sound, innovative ways to meet these challenges. Give Chuck West a call at 618-462-6880 or email info@chuckwestagency.com.
Does your auto insurance meet your needs? Is your homeowner's policy covering everything you need it to? Call your local farmer's agent, Lou Mauser, today. He can review your coverages and identify potential gaps and let you know how Farmers Insurance can cover all your insurance needs. Call Farmers Insurance agent Lou Mauser today at 463-7570 or stop by his office that is located across the road from Alton High School. When you need the best insurance at reasonable prices, think of your local Farmers Insurance agent, Lou Mauser.
Welcome back to Roxana High School. Dennis Laird alongside Louis Cork. We move now to the 5th inning with the Shells leading 10-0. And if the Shells can for Roxana.
Yeah, they'll come up with a 5-inning win here, and that's going to mark the end of the day for starter Brandon Grizzle. And Mike Arbuthnot's going to call on Travis Shook in relief here to try to close this thing out.
Several changes around the diamond. We'll try to get to those.
Well, we've got Phil Perry behind the plate. Looks like Draw's still out there.
First.
Arbuthnot still at short. That's Fenewald now at third base, taking Palin's spot.
I believe McCann is in right field now.
Well, I'm glad you could see that far. Ham's still at second base, so we still have McGill. He's going to be the leadoff batter here. He struck out 0 for 1 on the day. Shells want to keep it right here, do not want to give up any. They'll pick themselves up an SCC victory here and move to 500 in the conference, and 2 games over overall.
Shook fires the first one upstairs for ball 1. To the right-handed hitter, Mark McGill. McGill, the shortstop, hitting in the 6th hole today for the Oilers. Takes another one upstairs, 2-0. McGill probably going to take a few up there and give his team a chance to take a look at this right-hander Shook. (2-0) pitch on the way, and he swings through a high pitch for strike 1. I think he helped him out there.
He did. I mean, that was in nearly the same spot as the first 2 pitches. All 3 of them from Shook have been up. He needs to follow through a little more here.
Here's a swing and a foul off, and the count now 2-2. Shook coming in throwing nothing but heat, 4 straight fastballs.
I can see the urgency of wanting to get the game over, but you got to be selective as well. Got a job to do out there.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a shot towards right field. Another high pitch. McGill doing a nice job hitting there, just going with it and dumping it in front of the right fielder.
Well, the pitch was up and away, and instead of trying to pull the ball, McGill does a nice job. Like you said, just go the other way with it. Hits it solidly, and it's the 4th hit of the game for the Oilers. They've had runners on every base. They just have made blunders out there. They've had somebody picked off in 3 straight innings, but Grizzle's not out there anymore, so we'll see what they can do here.
Shook sails the first one to Nathan Smith upstairs for ball 1.
0 for 1 today, reached on an error. And every pitch so far from Shook has been up, so you might want to keep an eye out on him.
There's a strike in there to Nathan Smith to make the count 1-1. Travis Shook looks in, gets a sign now, throw over to first and back safely.
Boy, that was close.
As the runner McGill had to go in on his belly. 1-1 the count on the right-handed hitter, Nathan Smith. Travis Shook to the belt. Delivers. Swing and a miss by Smith, and the count 1-2.
Off speed there. First off, probably his first off-speed pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes on Nathan Smith. Shook brings it home. This one nails Smith in the back. Smith down to first. Down to second goes McGill, and first 2 on here for the Oilers with nobody out.
You got to make a better pitch than that on 1 and 2. That's just not very smart baseball there. You've got the man set up at 1 and 2, the runner not far off the bag, and you're trying to get cute with a pitch there, and you're in a position now where an inning could open up here for the Oilers and give them some confidence.
Here's a pitch across the outside corner at the knees to Colby Hall, the left-handed hitter for the Oilers. Tall left-handed bat.
Struck out in the second inning in his only at bat.
Here's a swing and a miss. And the count quickly 0-2 to Hall as Shook come with a breaking ball there.
Late swing.
2 strikes on Hall. This pitch sails outside. The count 1-2 now on Hall. Shook working quickly. Comes to the belt again. Now throw back to second. They got the runner picked off. He is out back there at second base, and another Oiler runner picked off.
Goodness gracious, I'm just mind-boggled by that. It's 4 straight innings now a runner has been picked off a base, and this time it's 10-0, and first and second, nobody out. Where are you going?
There's Hall swinging through this one, and that's out number 2.
Well, what looked like a big inning was about ready to start. You've gotten 2 outs just like that, and you're 1 out away from ending the game.
That'll bring in a right-handed hitter, Mike Sabantino. There's a throw over to first. This one gets away from the first baseman draw, and down to second goes Smith.
Now that was a perfect throw to draw, and he just missed it and bounds over into foul territory, and Smith moves up to second base. And that's a play there where I don't understand. You're up 10-0. Why are you worried about a guy that's at first base? What's he going to do to you there?
Number 9 hitter at the dish.
Just get your out and end the game.
This one sails inside to Sabantino for ball 1. Comes to the belt. Shook ready. There's a strike, and the count 1-1 now to Mike Sabantino.
Sabatino was a strikeout victim his first time up.
Here's a breaking pitch off the plate, and the count 2-1 now to Sabantino. Shook working quickly to the belt. 0-1-2, swing and a miss, and the count even at 2-2.
Well, he helped him out there. That pitch was up and in, and instead of 3-1, now he's looking at a 2-2 count.
Sabantino waits on the 2-2 from Shook. Swings through it for strike 3, and that's a shell victory. 10-0, the final score. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Lou Mauser, your local farmer's insurance agent. ConocoPhillips, energy for tomorrow. Roberts Motors, the value store since 1949. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Alton Memorial Hospital, the best health care close to home. Weber Granite City Chevrolet. United Methodist Village, where living is easy. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Wood River, caring beyond prescriptions. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Andy's Auto Body in Alton and Maryville, we can fix anything. Alton Toyota, Toyota makes the car, Munganast makes the difference. And the Chuck West Agency, helping business owners for over 46 years.